What's up, y'all? It's your boy Nate Almighty, aka the Global Dark Skinny Ambassador. I don't know when this video gonna come out, but it is currently New Year's Eve. As you can see, head to toe, I am clearly in drip alert, pimp alert, attack mode. And while I'm trying on outfits, figuring out what drip I'm gonna have to tonight's festivities, I decided, you know what? Let me give the people another Rikers Island story. So this is either gonna come out today, December 31st, or on the 1st. But we're gonna get into it like this. Let's talk about a Dayroom dummy, but not just the typical Dayroom dummy story. I've never seen people with their Rikers Island stories talk about how the Dayroom dummy, the softy, the P-boy actually gets his weight up and gets himself to a high level of respect within the jail. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so what I've personally seen is every now and then a person will come into jail. They weren't prepared for the harsh level of violence, so they become scared and they allow themselves to be manipulated, used and abused, slapped, not being able to talk in a day room. They are allowing themselves to be extorted from the hard-earned money that their mother or their girlfriend or grandma put into their account. They're giving it to another man. I've seen fellow inmates come in like this, but they don't always stay that way. Sometimes, or rather quite often, a guy comes in and he allows himself to be a Dayroom dummy for the simple fact that he doesn't want to get involved in a riffraff because he knows or he feels like he will be going home soon. So it's no point. However, then there's the Dayroom dummy who thinks he's gonna go home, but he does not go home. So he has to sit there and continue to sit all the way in the back on the iron horse, one butt cheek falling out the seat because that's where most of the dudes are. So we're in a space where only 2 or 3 average people should be able to sit and have enough space. There's 4 or 5 people, because even if it's space in the seating arrangements in the front, that's only reserved for the people with the rocking spots in the team and the 1 or 2 people who have the house. So eventually, this guy becomes upset with the way his bid is going, and eventually it'll click in this guy that he doesn't want to be a Dayroom dummy no more. He doesn't want to be a P-boy no more. He doesn't want to be soft. He doesn't want to get manipulated, abused, extorted. He doesn't want to wash anybody's drawers, anybody's doo-doo out their drawers ever again. He doesn't want to sweep up the day room for no reason. He doesn't want to clean for no reason. And also, what sparks this change within the Dayroom dummy is a Dayroom dummy being in there, being in a specific house or dorm for a long time and seeing new people come in and they assume roles of leadership, and they are either given the house or they are deemed to be on the team. And sometimes a Dayroom dummy is looking at this new dude like, why do I gotta be back here and he's in the front just because of his gang association, when I know that even though I'm in a oppressive position, I know that I could take this dude. Even though I'm a Dayroom dummy, I know that this guy can't beat me. I know if I take him to the corner, I'm gonna beat him up. So you know what? If this new dude says anything to me, I'm gonna call him out for his team spot and we gonna fight, and I'm gonna take his team spot from him. Now, this is the point where the light bulb switches in his head and you gotta clap it up for the guy. Because he's taking the opportunity to say, I'm not gonna spend my whole bid in the back being known as a soft dude, being called a Dayroom anything. It's time for me to get into aggressive mode. It's time for me to get into attack mode. So what would happen is a Dayroom dummy who's been in the house long enough and has been around the people who hold the house long enough, you kind of develop, even though it's depressive, they kind of develop somewhat friendships with the people who they are extorting, and it's like they wouldn't necessarily want to see anyone else do anything to them. So there may come a time where the Dayroom dummy wants to get his weight up. This is what the term is called, getting your weight up. It's when you come in as a Dayroom dummy and you want to get your rank up through violence, of course. Only violence. So the way to do this would be if someone new comes into the house and they're not respecting the program, they're not submitting, even though you have already been in this house and you've been submitting, the Dayroom dummy would volunteer himself to be the person to pop it off, to put in the work, to assume a more violent role within the house, participating in the oppression over other people. The team and the people who run the house, they will look at this and as messed up as it is, they will celebrate this. And they'll tell you like, hey bro, you getting your weight up. Keep it up. Keep it up. I'll give you the Dayroom. Now, the Dayroom, because you know, like it's like you gotta come up. It's like any business. You may come in, you may start as the janitor. You may start as the trash man. Then as the time goes, you may work yourself to register. You may work yourself up to fry cook. Then you become the assistant manager. Then you become the manager. And then if you're lucky, you would get the equivalent of running the house, which would be the general manager or something of the sort. You know what I'm saying? So they'll say, hey, you trying to get your weight up? I see you trying to get your weight up, bro. I'm going to give you the Dayroom. Now, the person who has the Dayroom is still a Dayroom dummy. It's still a crash dummy, a pop-off dummy position. But this is letting the whole house know that you're basically being trained to rise up in the social class of the house. You're going up from a peasant to above a peasant, the overseer of the peasant. This is actually, you know what I'm saying, the equivalent to, let's say if you seen Django, and Django was telling a slave owner that he was a Mandingo Wrangler, which means he was somebody who oversaw the fights and activities of the other slaves, quote unquote, or something like that. So you're overseeing the other Dayroom dummies, but you have authority to tell the other Dayroom dummies to shut up. You have the authority now because they gave it to you, which is corny. I never had the Dayroom because I was never that low on the totem pole. My thing was to come in and have a respectable position, period. I don't need the house. I don't need to be on the team. But you're not taking anything from me. You're not going to ask me for anything. I'm not giving you no phone calls. I'm not giving you no commissary. And if you feel like that's what you're going to do, I'm going to punch one of y'all in the face. Y'all going to have to jump me, and y'all going to have to pack me up and get me out of this house because you're not getting nothing from me. So y'all either fall back, let me do what I do, I respect you, you respect me, or we just going to fight and you got to get me out of here. But anyway, they give you the order of controlling the Dayroom. This is a low position. It's not that respectable, but it acknowledges that you're climbing on your way up. So then boom, eventually the person who has the house may upgrade you from the Dayroom to having a rocking spot. Rocking spot means that you're not on the team, but either you came in initially and you never let nobody extort you, so they gave you a rocking spot, but you're not on the team, meaning you didn't fight for the team because you didn't ask to fight for the team, and nobody automatically threw you on the team because nobody could vouch for you, but they gave you a rocking spot because they spanked you 2-3 times and you didn't tell police, and they realized that they don't want to make it hot no more, And they realize that you're not gonna be extorted, you're not gonna be with it. So they decide to just let you rock because they feel like, okay, he's tough, it's cool. But you still have to agree to beat up other people with them, which is basically the same as being on the team. But you know, in their eyes, they see it different, but it's literally the same thing. So I always gravitated between rocking spot and on the team. I prefer to not be on the team because the people on the team, they like to play a heavy role in extortion and bullying people, and that's corny to me. Like, that was never cool to me. Like, I only participated minimally, enough to where you know that I will put in the work, but not overly doing it because I don't want to be down. But eventually you'll make your way up from the day room to a rocking spot, and then you can either be good there, or you can say, I want to be on the team now. So if you want to be on the team, being that you've been there for a while, and the people who run the house, they respect the fact that you've been getting your way up respectfully in their eyes, not by trying to make it hide and mess up the system that they got going on. Someone new may come into the crib who also want to be on the team. They will arrange for you to fight the new dude who wants to be on the team. Whoever wins gets to be on the team. Simple as that. Simple as that. So if you lose, you'll still have a rocking spot. If you win, you'll be on the team. On a rare occasion, that dude may end up winning his fight, getting on the team, and then asking for the house, which is, I want the one-on with one of you dudes who ran the house, and now I want to take over this house. That almost always results in the whole house jumping you and you getting packed up because they feel like you got beside yourself. But on rare occasions, you will be rewarded that one-on. Usually if the police are participating and they know this is about to go down, and they say, hey, listen, let them have that one-on, because ultimately police really run the house. So in my opinion, always the two people at the very top who run the house are basically the coons, are basically the sellouts, the Uncle Toms. But I've seen Dayroom dummies come in, they get their weight up, and you find out that a Dayroom dummy knows how to fight. A Dayroom dummy will find out that half these dudes do not fight better than them, because a lot of these dudes was used to jumping people and shooting people out in the town. They wasn't used to fighting. And once they realize that they could fight better, they have zero fears from that point on. And then they begin to get their weight up, and then they begin to become respectable people within Rikers Island. And anyone who wants to bring up their past, they'll just beat them up. And that's how you maintain your reputation. So that was my Rikers Island story, man. This is how a Dayroom dummy gets their weight up. You can come in a Dayroom dummy, but there's always room to step your weight up. All you gotta do is follow the right protocols, the right set of actions, and not be afraid to get beat up and deal out some beatings. Peace, love, out.